Right. Okay.
Good news. Good news. Good news. After the rain and a nice warm day, there's mushies coming up around the place everywhere. And this one, where you can see there, has got a pink gill. And if we gently pop him up, okay. There's the pink gills. This is an Australian field mushroom, and they are very good to eat, apparently. I don't like mushroom myself, so I don't eat mushroom, but I've collected hundreds of these. Mum used to make beef stroganoffs with them. And beef stroganoff I do like. But that's the Australian field mushroom. Very nutty flavour. Bit of a sort of meaty texture, I guess, would be the best descriptor. And these things are very popular for eating. Now you can see the cap is similar to the death cap I pulled up yesterday. However, the gills are very different. So I'm going to pop that in my bag, and if I find another death cap, we'll pull it up and I will do a side-by-side comparison. However, if not, at least I've got the pair of them, so I can show you this one is very different to the other. If you haven't seen my other video, I'll put a link down in the description, description box, and you can pop over there and check out the death cap, which you do not eat. However, this little fella, they're very good eating if you like mushrooms. So I'm going to get going now, and we'll see if we can find a death cap on the way. Here we have another mushroom. Let's check this one. With that golden colour, I'm not liking the look of it. And yeah, I wouldn't be eating that one. Okay, so we have the trifecta. That is the young death cap. Yep, definitely. With those white gills. Look at that. Yeah. Okay, so well, it just shows you how closely they resemble an edible mushroom. That is not edible. There's another one someone's picked and chucked up on a rock there. So yeah, they're all over the place around here. So I'll wrap that up and pop that away somewhere. And there's yet another one. Now you can see the way it's splitting on the sides there. That's fairly characteristic of the death caps. Now you'll remember the first one I found was splitting also, but it was pink in the gills there. You can see that is very white. Very white. Now this one here, again, very characteristically white underneath. On that sort of brown, olivey green in places. That's fairly common to see. They're not just white. As they get older, they do take on that, on this sort of caramelly colour. So yeah, you got to be aware. These things are not good. You can see, yeah, look at that. Showing all the characteristics of a death cap. Thickened thallus on the bottom there. The skirts on it here. It will drop down and form a skirt around it as it pulls away. You can see on this one here, the young one, that it hasn't pulled away yet, but that'll pull away to open up the gills, and that forms this skirt on the stem here. So if I pull the rest of that away, you'll see how it just folds down around the stem there. And that is another characteristic. Now they've got an unpleasant, not really an unpleasant odour, but yeah, it's kind of got a bit of an ammonia tinge to it. Oh, look at that. Like I said, that thickened phallus here. So there's a nice little bunch of deadly poison. Okay, back to our game of spot the killers. Are these ones poisonous or not? My guess, just from looking at them and knowing what I know, is that these are field mushrooms. But are they? Let us have a look. A field mushroom. And another field mushroom. So yeah, after a while you will be able to spot the differences. But if you don't know, don't eat. It is as simple as that. It might be a field mushroom with pale gills, but it may not be. It may kill you. So I'm going to grab these two. We'll get home. I've written off the idea of going fishing today. We've gone mushroom hunting instead, carrying a fishing rod. I've got sticky fingers from handling those death caps, so I'm going to go home and wash my hands before I suck on one of them and have some unforeseen consequences. Well, foreseen, but undesirable. I'm not sure if having just a bit on your fingers is enough to actually do a lot of damage, but I'm really rather not taking the chance. So I'm going to go home, skip fishing for today. It's getting a bit late in the afternoon anyway, and I'll get on to doing a comparative between field mushrooms and death caps. We're back home from a successful mushroom hunt. Look at all those lovely mushrooms. That lot there would go great. That lot there would see you dead. Can you tell the difference? Field mushroom, death cap. It's not easy. See the caps on those two, how similar they are? Similar in shape, size and colour. But if we break that one up, this one is really, really good to show you why so many people mistake these ones, which are good eating, for these ones, which are not. See how similar they are in colour with that pale pink there. That's what they look like before the cap actually opens. Once they open up, you end up with that darker sort of salmon pink, and then as they age it goes browner. So with these two, it's very easy to see the difference. This one, edible. This one, deadly. They also have certain differences in, you can see the field mushroom stem is not as long and doesn't taper as much at the top. It doesn't have this big thallus at the bottom. It's a much more simple stem, it's not as complex. It's another indicator. But these, as you can see, even there's quite a distinct difference even between the unopened field and the unopened death cap. This one is always white. Yeah, let's pull that out of there. Strip that back. Yeah. Not be eating that. But that will show you why they're so easily mistaken. So easily mistaken. As adults, not even closely similar underneath. Do not eat, edible. Not edible, edible. So it's something that is I can't emphasize the importance of knowing the difference between the two, because as I said from the top, they are very, very similar. Out of those three, if you were just to look at the top, you may not know that this one's going to kill you and these two are fine. So practice care. If you can't positively identify it, such as this one, if you can't say, oh yes, that's definitely a field mushroom, it goes into the it's a deadly one bundle. These ones, too easy to identify, no problems at all, no problems. Oh, look, it's a bit light. I think we'll just err on the side of caution. Although I know this one is a field mushroom myself. If you are not aware, err on the side of caution. Much better than dying a very, very nasty death. And that pile of mushrooms there is probably enough to kill about 10 people. I sure as hell would not go eating it. It's got a very distinct aroma. You get sticky fingers from touching them. They're not poisonous to touch, the poison has to be ingested, but if you are touching them, make sure that you wash your fingers very, very well before handling food, sucking on them, or even having a cigarette. I wouldn't recommend having a cigarette and handling the cigarette butt and then putting it to your lips after you've played with these things. Once again, just to reiterate, these ones are safe, these ones are not. I can't really reiterate that enough. People might think I'm exaggerating, but about 4 years ago, there's 4 people who made themselves a meal of death caps, ended up in hospital, 3 died, the other one's probably still on dialysis or who knows. But they were not well when they survived, and so beware. There are signs all over Canberra warning against eating wild mushrooms because people don't know the difference and people do die. I have had one comment at least saying, I can't believe these things will kill you. They will. Believe it.